Hi, everybody. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you all had a nice holiday season. I'm back after a couple weeks off from making videos, but we are about to start the NFL playoffs, my favorite time of year from a sports watching and betting perspective. And I am here with a few picks that I like for Wild Card Weekend. This is my 100th video that I've uploaded onto my channel, so I usually save this for the end, but I will start off today by saying thank you to everyone who has watched any of my videos, liked, subscribed, commented, especially those of you who've been with me for several years now. So yeah, here's to video number 100, and hopefully it comes with a successful weekend of betting. So I'll go ahead and jump right into my picks. I'm going to do an anytime touchdown player prop. I have one straight bet on the spread that I like, and then I also put together a 4-leg teaser. So I'll start with the anytime touchdown scorer, going along with the theme of mixing up the order, but it also happens to be for the first game of the weekend, which is Panthers-Rams. I like Rico Dowdle to score a touchdown for the Panthers at plus 170. I've seen this closer to 140, 150 at a lot of places, so I think 170 is a pretty good price that I was able to find. I'm going to do a whole unit on this. Normally I tend to do a half unit on the anytime touchdown scorers, but it's the playoffs, so I'm going to go for it with a whole unit. I definitely like the Rams to win this game, but I think that the Panthers are going to rely on their run game quite a bit. They've got a young quarterback in Bryce Young, and I think, their best strategy is to ground and pound, hope they can control the time of possession, which I think could lead to a lot of carries for Rico Dowdle, and thus more opportunities to get in the end zone. And he also he occasionally catches passes out of the backfield as well, so I think he'll have some chances. He hasn't had a touchdown for a few games, so he's due, and at plus 170, I think it's pretty good value. So my first bet is Rico Dowdle, anytime touchdown scorer. I'm going to go now to my straight up bet on the spread, and then I'll go through the legs of my teaser real quick. But this is also going to be a unit. I like skipping ahead to the end of the weekend. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers at plus 3, hosting the Texans. I don't really believe much in either of these teams to go very far, but I think at home, the Steelers seem to be playing with a little momentum, and getting 3 points, I think is pretty good value here. A lot of people would maybe say fade playoff Rodgers. He hasn't been great throughout his career, even when he had teams that people thought were Super Bowl favorites. But I think, he seems to have that look in his eye a little bit. This might be the last run for him. And I just have a feeling he's not going out this weekend, that they'll make it to the next round. The Texans are a decent team. They have a great defense. stadium up to will probably be a pretty cold environment on Monday night. It just feels like the football gods have got to be in Pittsburgh's favor for this. And on top of that, they're getting DK Metcalf back. They won a big game against the Ravens to get in the playoffs. A little bit of luck happened for them with Tyler Loop missing the kick that would have won it for the Ravens. But the Steelers also, looked pretty solid throughout that game. It was kind of back and forth, and, they were able to win it in the end. So I think that with the addition of Metcalf, hosting a dome team, it just feels like everything's coming up Pittsburgh, and I think at +3, it's worth a bet of a unit that they're going to at least come within 3, if not advance to the divisional round. So that is my second bet of Wild Card Weekend. Going on to my teaser now. I'll go through these pretty quickly, kind of a lightning round here. Like I said, 4 legs at +6. Adding, that's a 6-point teaser, so whatever the spread or total is, actually add 6 in my favor, and it pays +240 if it hits. So, again, in the spirit of it's playoff time, putting a little more down, I'm doing a whole unit on this as well. So, +2.4 units if it hits. First game, these might not exactly be in order of the games, but Chicago Bears, they're +1.5 at home against the Packers, up to +7.5. I think is really good. It's a really good spot. I actually kind of like the Bears to win this game outright, but especially with the cushion of a touchdown, I don't think Green Bay has looked that great in the last month. They blew a game late to the Bears a few weeks ago, so even if the Packers are able to get their revenge, I think the Bears will come within a touchdown. Buffalo Bills are actually favored by 1.5 on the road at Jacksonville. I could see the Jags maybe winning this game. It's kind of could go either way type of thing, but I'd be real surprised if the Bills don't at least come within 4.5 points. With no Mahomes, Burrow, Jackson in the playoffs, this really feels like it's Allen versus everybody. So it would be kind of surprising if he gets knocked in the first round, but the Jaguars are playing well, so anything's possible. That said, seems pretty likely they'll at least come within 4.5. And then I did a couple of totals. San Francisco and Philadelphia, it's at 44.5. Going down to 38.5. I like the over. Could be a cold weather environment, but I think both of these offenses have enough firepower that it shouldn't be much trouble getting to 38.5 points. And similarly, the Chargers and the Patriots, 46.5 goes to 40.5. I think there will be enough points in that one as well to hit those overs. So that is what I'll be watching for Wild Card Weekend. And of course, I still have my half-unit Super Bowl prediction of Rams-Patriots that I am rooting for as well. So hoping that both the Rams and Pats get wins this round and advance to keep that bet alive. So feel free to leave me a comment on any bets you like for the weekend, any thoughts on my picks, and I will plan to be back in the divisional round with some more bets. So hope everyone enjoys the football this weekend. and you will hear from me soon. Take care. Bye-bye.